All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Give it a few minutes here. Took me a little while to figure this out. My stream key got messed up on me. Grab you some water and I'll be right with you. We're going to have some fun. Got a good watch list to watch. Got a good watch list I'm going to go over. We're going to talk about a few of them. Hope you got your coffee or water or whatever beverage you like. I prefer water and coffee. All right, welcome. Welcome to I Love Stocks. You know how I kind of do this. Kind of like to talk about stocks and try to find some supports and pivot points and resistances and kind of give you an idea of how I trade. And it's all about being in the now, right now. Being in the know right now. You know, we've got an election coming up. We've got Corona. We've got a lot of obstacles in the way. We've got civil unrest, which really I kind of throw that shit out. You know, best thing about America is you can make it any way you want. You can be unrestful or you can be happy. Enjoy life and what it brings to you. So right now, I Love Stocks is going to bring you a watch list. And I hope everybody's doing good. I got to look up my little, give me a few seconds to find... Where am I put my channel at? I thought I just had this on here. Yeah, there we are. All right. Well, we got 6 here today. Hit the like button if you like it. Be sure to subscribe to our videos. Vegas and I are going to do one tomorrow.
6 here today.
Uh-oh.
Hit the like button if you like it.
I got to mute that. So let me find us a good chart. I kind of got us a little watch list started right here. Things that I'm going to be watching next week. Vegas, you know who she is. She called out SNAP all week long, and she's been very bullish on it. I traded it yesterday and sold my profit. I held on for a couple of days. But now I'm thinking, you know, I think I made a mistake and bought some puts on it Friday. So that's what I'm thinking. But we'll see. They're out of ways, and we'll find out. But let's talk about SNAP. And then we'll go ahead and we'll add a few that you all want to look at. Lulu's a good one. I like Lulu. Good morning, Amanda. SNAP, we're going to talk about it right now. I should have stayed in the SNAP. Well, you never know. You never know. We kind of had a $45 to $50 target on it. So I'm going to write some of these names down. Kind of just be patient with me. WKNG. And we're talking about Snap now. Now I'm going to tell you when you might want to get back into Snap. So that's what this video is going to be about today. But I want to go ahead and go over it right now. I had an alert down here at 38.88, hoping it would pull back, but it never did. So I'm going to raise this alert up to this level right in here, right around 43 bucks. Why? You know, I talk about this a lot in the room, and I have a little video about this too. And we're going to replace that. Do you see anything on this chart that is bullish? You see anything on this chart that's bullish? Here, I'll turn my face on. It's got a 7-second delay, so maybe longer than that. But do you see anything on here that's bullish? I'll show you what I think, what I saw. I definitely saw the power on the tape and the news and the momentum. Very good run. I mean, it followed all the way up that 9 and hit that 34 EMA. This chart I'm using right now is a TTM squeeze. I use this 200 EMA a lot, and I talk about it every day, how important it is on a daily 1 minute. If you miss a trade, you always have another chance to get back in it off that 200 on a momentum play. And I talk about this a lot. And you always want to look for like a little confirmation or reversal on this too. And you see that big candle right there? Kind of like a flag. That's what I call a blowhorn pattern flag. Especially on an engulfing candle. See, I would probably never get into this trade until this candle right here hit. Another reason is I would probably chalk me up a little line right here, a trend line. Let me see, Snap. So I would have definitely put me a trend line right here on this engulfing candle. And if we'd have broke that, because we had this wick right here, if we'd have broke that, I would have went ahead and I'd have called the trade right there. Off this 200 EMA. This is a warning sign. So when you got that 200 EMA on a daily 1 minute, that's a warning sign that you might have a reversal, or if it fails, then it's just going to go to pot. But this was a momentum play. And anytime you see a good momentum play with good volume, what are we doing here? Anytime you see something like this, that's a momentum play. Now I could have scalped this a few times, but I just held on to it. And once I hit my target, I was out. And that was pretty close to the end of the day. And then I accidentally bought a put. And look where we are now. So I think I kind of got screwed on that. So we're going to do a little resistance level. We're going to pull a support right here on this trend line right in here. This, I was going to talk about the flag. Why is this bullish? Why do I want to keep trading it? From right here on here, this first dip right here is where you want to start your line. So you want to kind of bring it up there and just kind of hit that. Now watch this. I've talked about this a lot in the room. It's called an ascending triangle. This is a bullish sign. And I would, it's kind of hard to say where it would go, but I would go ahead and probably draw my trend line right here. And then that would create a flag. Here, let me redo this. Remove drawing, and I'll put it over here so we can see it. And you can also learn how to use toss a little bit. Turn that off. Turn this blue. And you got to spot chart patterns to keep a bullish frame on it. I know the 200 was a good support level, and I would have time it would have touched that 200, I would have went ahead and took the trade because I'm very highly bullish on this stock, as you can see. Now what we have here is an ascending triangle. This right in here is called an ascending triangle. That's a bullish pattern. So what it's doing, it's consolidating. Every time it hits that support line, it bounces up a little bit. Then, bam. And then finally it started giving up here at the end of the day. People were taking profit. This little red right here is just profit takers. Just right in here. And once it hit that 200, we went back on up. So that's your time to get back into the trade and break the triple top, the quad top right here. And you went ahead and broke out. So that's Snap. Now we're going to draw a couple more support lines, and we're going to put another one right down in here. You see where this peak is right here? And this touch right here? That's a double confirmation of a trend line. So we'll put that on there. Now, we want SNAP to break 45.50. If we can break 44.50, and we just have to kind of follow the momentum. And if it starts to pull back, your first support is going to be right here at the top of that ascending triangle, 42.98. The next one's going to be right down in here where we had another kind of little triangle in a way, where it just kept coming back and hit resistance right up here. You know, hit resistance here, hit resistance here, hit resistance here. 42.42. Second strong buy is going to be in this channel right in here. Now, why do I call it a strong buy? That's where the starting of the second breakout began. And we had a high and a low right here. So that's going to be a very strong buy between 41.41 and 41.84. Now jot these numbers down and see if I'm right. If we break 45, the momentum's here. People are going to, you know, if it's going up, they're going to still buy it. And then eventually we're going to have a good pullback on it. Right now, to me, it's overextended for now at 45. And I just took a chance and bought some puts Friday. I don't know. I got some time. Got a couple weeks on them. So I still got time to go ahead and add on if I need to, or whatever it is. So the next one we're going to talk about, that's SNAP. How'd you like that, Amanda? I think that was who. Higher lows. That's right, Michael. Higher lows. Higher lows is an indicator that you're a bullish ascending triangle. And usually, and you know, this is kind of a funky one, but a lot of times when I see an ascending triangle, I like to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this last one, the third touch, usually is a good breakout. So always remember that. 1, 2, 3. So the next one I want to talk about is another bottom, and I'm going to make something perfectly clear here. I've got 16 years experience. I like to play the bottoms of any trade. I like to find a support level. Now, people, they'll shoot out good alerts. They'll shoot out good tickers. But sometimes you don't want to buy a ticker at a resistance unless you know it's a momentum play and it's going to keep running. A lot of times I'll look at a momentum play and I'll just take a few seconds and be patient, watch the tape, the level 2, I'll check out the news, and then I'll get all my verifications together. I got a 5-step program that gets me into a trade, and if I hit 4 of them, I'm pretty happy. So yeah, that's kind of like that. The next one we're going to talk about is going to be Workhorse. Now Workhorse has got a big deal coming up, and I called the bottom on this one here the other day. Let's pull up the 5-day chart on Workhorse. Put this on. I want you all to write these tickers down and put them on a list. This is going to be next week's watch list. First one was SNAP. The second one is WKHS. First thing I like to do when I'm looking at a chart, now you see this is pretty fogged up. Fogged. I didn't say the dirty word. I said F-O-G. Got to keep this clean. Okay, now we did pull back to a support level, and I called the bottom on this. You see this little thing right in here? This is kind of like a Jay Leno bottom. And you'll hear that from Tony. That's a bullish pattern. That's called a Jay Leno bottom. And once it come up to the top here, bam, she shot up. So now you got to try to find places where you think a support is. This is and we definitely pulled back to the crack of her bottom right there at 1919. And we pull that on up. Now we got to start seeing a descending pattern. See, high, descending pattern. And then something happened here where we had a double top. But that's descending. Now, how did I figure out that this was a bottom? Because we hit that crack right there. And that's a real solid support. My first one was right here at 2120. Native Dreamer Nile, yep. I'm glad everybody's participating. How many people? We got 13. That's my lucky number. Halloween's coming up. So let's look at 20. This is a 20 day. We failed support right here. And that was that one that I showed you on the yearly. So I started calling this trade out. Oh, when did I call this out? Workhorse. I called the September 15 call. No, I did January 15. And there's a 1950 support, $20 strike for November 6th too. So I got a couple of them here. Let me see. Give me a snip here. So I got a swing idea here. I got in Friday on the 20th, January 20th. I think that's January the 15th is a misprint. $20 strike, and right now I think I'm up about $60 on it. I think it closed at 510. So I'm up $50 on that right now, and I got into that Friday. So that's one you might want to check out. I got in it because I like the volume on it. It's January 15, and I seen someone else post something in it, and I checked it out, and $20 ain't that far away from my being in the money, which I am right now, and it was pretty cheap, $4.60. So that's the one I got there. Let's go back now. You can see right in here when we hit the bottom, it started to consolidate. Then I noticed it broke out a little bit higher than that low, and then we had that big engulfing candle into close, which really told me I was bullish on it. I got into the trade early Friday, but I think I sold another one that I had. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go to that 20 day again, and we got to break resistance up here at 2120. I think we're going to do that very easily. This is another little ascending triangle breakout that's starting to form right in here. And I'm really passionate about my ascending triangles. But I want to break 2120 and then get up into this level up in here right around 2557. We're going to have some resistance right here at 2317. Why? We consolidated here in this week. You'd almost think that was a bearish flag, wouldn't you? But we're highly bullish on this trade. And you don't have too many bears out here, and you have a lot of pumpers on this stock too. A lot of people that pay attention to the EV sector. So always keep you a good EV watch list on it. So we got to break 2120, get up here to this next resistance of 2317, and then start thinking, okay, anything above 2557 is going to be a gift. And if you can get it past that, great. And we could break out on a triple top at 2842. And that's going to be Workhorse. Keep that one on watch. Now here's another one. And this is one where you got to kind of think patience. And can anybody tell what it was? It was Netflix. Netflix had real good earnings. But man, here we are. Up here at $560, $570. Look at this run we've had on the year. I mean, we've had a triple top, okay? Kind of a triple top, but a J-low bottom. So what I'm thinking we're going to have here, and I had a low support right down here at 472.89. I thought it was 468, 468.20. And that's a channel. And I had this support here at one time before as a channel, and we broke out of it. Or I think I was calling for the pullback. That's what I was doing. I put this channel in here, trying to find a support level in case it did pull back. And look, that sucker pulled right back to that support channel. 1, 2, 3, 4. And could we do it again? Maybe. But maybe we want to start being bullish on it and start having, we have a higher low right here. So maybe this sucker wants to turn back around and get it back up here right around that resistance level that we had right in here, see? And we had a little bit of confrontation right in here. It consolidated for 4 or 5 days. So that's going to be the one, that's going to be the important little level that we got to break. And I'll tell you what, I got to color that in because that's going to mean a lot to me. It's going to be tricky. So go over here, idiot. Go right in here. No, you don't do that either. What you do is you go out and have a beer. Okay, right in here. I'm going to draw this line. This is very important right here. So that's the resistance that we got to break. Now let's break this down into a 20-day. Now when I call these support channels, I always like to look for an equilibrium in the middle. And this was before this stock came down here, okay? This was before this happened. But we hit right in that area, and there's an equilibrium in that channel, and that's called a pivot point. Now, if it does decide to break out, it's going to be pretty nice. It's going to start bouncing back up and break this resistance of 497.61, and if we can break past that, it'll be a gift up here right around 501 to 511. That's about a $10 spread right there. I think it got a little overheated up here, and it's just now starting to consolidate. It's actually, you know, pretty good little support level on the 20-day chart. So let's bring this up to a daily 1 minute now. This is what I really like. Called this out. I called this out in the room. I said 482.80 is your low support, and at 485.42 is a resistance that you got to break. We tried to break it once. We pulled back, and I think I just drew this line in here today. If I would have been drawing this line from the beginning, it probably would have went up here, and then I would have freaked out and failed my trade. But a resistance that we had to break was this one right up in here. You see where we consolidated many times. So when you're watching that, let me get up here and draw that line in there. It's important too. That's the hard resistance. And when I say hard resistance, that means that's going to be real hard to break. And you can tell it was hard to break. It touched down to here. Let me go ahead and, I already had that on here. We'll remove one. Oh, now what have I done? Shit. Oh, I did this the other day. At 485.89 area right in there. So it did break that. We touched here, 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 and here, and then back. It come back and touch that. So that's pretty solid. You got to look for places, consolidated areas that keep repeating itself. See, it just could not break this. This four tops could not do it. So it had failed and it pulled back. Four times. I would have sold this stock on the third one. I'd have got out of it. But then it started creating ascending triangle. And look at that. Another ascending triangle breakout. Bam. Netflix. So let's keep a good eye on it. I gave you the resistance levels on it also. Next one we're going to talk about is going to be, we've done two. We've done three. Workhorse, Netflix, and Snap. Now this is for the penny players. What was a great trade all last week? Anybody know one of my best trades last week that watched me trade in a way? MRIN, no X. Okay, MRIN. 3 times a charm. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about today too. My 3 karma rule. Beautiful. This was a beautiful trade all week long. And when I get very excited about something, you better pay attention. I mean, I was very excited about this trade. All week long. I mean, this is just a beautiful trade. We had that beautiful breakout pre-market. Pulled right back. I mean, pulled back hard. And that was a great time to jump in this trade and take it. So I scalped like hell on. I scalped it every day. And then we had a great day on Friday. It was just marvelous. We had little entries and exit right here. I got in and out. No, I got in. Frick. Let me pull this up to a daily. I watched the trade. You notice it pulls back to that 200 every time. The 200, the 200, the 200. So there was 4 different times you could have took that trade. And this thing was popping up so fast and back that it was just incredible. So I got in this trade right in here. I could have got it in down here, but I got it in right in here where this area is right in here. And I jumped in the trade and it pulled on back and I bought a little bit more down here and then bam, she took off. And there was many times where you could have took that trade. And what really got interesting later on in the day, when it found like a little resistance up here right around the 388 area, and I got in it right there too. And I exited, this is my entry, and this is where I exited, right in here. Then I got back into trade at 388 and took it to like 422 or something like that. So this is a good one to watch. Keep it on your watch list. I think we're going to squeeze, and I'm going to tell you right where I think we're going to squeeze at on this one here. If we either bounce off that 200, we're going to find another little support area right in here, right at the 329. I'm using the bases. And I like to really talk about this a lot. The wick of a candle is a gift. It's where the buyers start to take over, that's where the sellers start to take over the buyers. Okay? The sellers are starting to take over the buyers. And so you want to use the base of the candle. That's the meat of the stock. That's where you really want to pay attention to. So I'm going to draw a trend line. Now watch, when I draw this trend line right here on this resistance level, I'm going to take it and I'm going to go to these 2 tops. And I'm going to go ahead and draw that trend line right there. Now when I pull this apart, I want you to see something. Bam. See that? See that? You see that? You see that? That's a solid support. That's going to be your first support. Now you can either pull back to this 326, which it's not enough for me. It's not enough to pull back on a pumper. I mean, it's probably got some good news, but a lot of people are on this trade. And a lot of pumpers are on this. And they're going to get in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And they're going to buy at support. So I really like this 200 for my second support on the daily 1 minute. Then a strong buy is going to be in this channel right here. Now, can anybody tell me what kind of flag this is? You know, I'm all about flags. I'm all about chart patterns. And I'm all about moving averages. I'm all about watching the tape and about the momentum. I know how much money is going into the tape. I don't need to know what's coming from cheddar flow or dark pool or anything like that. I'm embedded in the momentum of the trade. I know a lot of money's going into it. I want to know what kind of news we're having. I want to know the history of the stock, how it reacts. I want to know if it's a low float. Then I know the pumpers are in it. There's a lot of things that I think about before I get into a trade. But I can tell right out of the gate that this was a hot one. So we got a real strong buy at 275. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about the flag. I'm going to show you another flag right here. You want to try to, I would have probably hit it right here and just moved on up from that second one, but right there, then you got, bam. That is called a pennant flag. That's a pennant flag. It's a bullish pattern. And look what happened. Once that thing started to squeeze, smack. When I say squeeze, I would have jumped in this trade way before that because I'm that kind of trader. I can recognize a forming of a flag before it even starts. Usually within 5 to 10 minutes, I'm already deciding if I want to get into the trade, and I already know pre-market what kind of day I want to have. That's because I've sat here behind this desk for 16 years. Someone else with a brighter mind could have probably picked it up in a couple. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I try to do my best to be as accurate as I can. And patience, I think, has a lot to do with that. But there's a pennant flag, and then we've got a bullish after-hour market here. So we'll have probably a pre-market pullback on MRIN, and then a bam, back up to resistance levels. And that first one probably going to be right around in here, where we had a little bit of consolidation. But basically, I'm here to just kind of show you how to be a little bit more patient and to look for support levels on breakout stocks. And on breakout stocks, if you miss it, throw that 200 EMA on the daily 1 minute in there. Make sure you have that 200. I guarantee it. Once you start watching that 200 EMA on a daily 1 minute, you'll thank me for the rest of your life. So that's MRIN. Now here's another good bottom play I call. I just like playing the bottoms, and I like playing, and I chase too. I chase the momentum stocks. Shit, the volume in the low floats. Well, they got good news. Snap, So let's talk about this next one. Now everybody watches this one too. This is one of Vegas's. Vegas says it's going to go to 100. We talked about AMD at $9. It went to 95. I called this sucker right at the very bottom. I'm very bullish on this stock. Don't take me wrong. Look at that. Tell me that's not a begin. Tell me that does not look good. Tell me I'm a nut. Look at that. Now we're going to do something here, and I want you to learn how to do this. We're going to try to find a little place down in here. We're going to open this up a little bit. We're going to take this wick, and let's do something a little different here. Let's take the body, and let's do this. Let's just move this up to this body. Let's go ahead and extend this to the right. Let's go ahead and pull up that 20-day. Let's see what happens here. So I'm definitely wrong on that. So what we're going to do now, we're going to erase that. Where's your remove drawing? I'm going to go back here again. And I'm going to follow this right up here. Now I'm hitting all the bases of them candles, see? We're going to extend that to the right. See if that makes a difference. Yeah, that's perfect. You see how we only come from this area right in here on that day, and look what's happened. Pulls back and hits that trend. Pulls back and hits that trend. So what am I thinking? What are you thinking? You're going to find a support level on this trend line. So if you have enough patience and you want to get into the trade, just wait for the pullback to that trend line. And right now it's at 1651. And look, by the time tomorrow comes in, it's going to be right up here at this resistance level, support level at 1678. So that 1678 is going to be a support level for us. I mean, it constantly repeats itself. History does. And you got to look for these tops. You got to look for these tops. These tops are the serious support levels. And then you got another flag right in here. Just a very small one. A daily flag, a daily wedge. We can make it go up higher. So you're just always looking at the candles. And I study a lot of candles. I mean, my trading in the past 3 months has improved 100% on picking out breakouts before they even happen. It's the candles on the daily 1 minute that gives me the clue. So let's go to the daily 1 minute. Let's find another. There you are, see? Ascending triangle. Now we're going to find a pullback. First one's going to be this ascending triangle here at 1737. So we're going to turn that red. Now I'm a master of the extended trendline pattern. I'm going to put one right here where we had that top, and I'm going to put one right down here where we had this. Why? We had a top here and we had a bottom here. We had a triple confirmation. We had a double top breakout. Pulled back to that double top breakout. Look here. I didn't even look over here. I just looked at these two. But look what hit here. Oh, hell, you got to draw that red too, man. That's got to be red too. So now here we got 3 supports. All drawn out. Strong buy at 1737. Now let me tell you something. I'm going to pull up the 5-day chart. I'm going to show you where I called this trade at. Right down here. Why? Triple bottom. Uno, dos, tres. Triple bottom. Strong buy. Called it out in the room. 1465. Bam. From right here on these 2 dips. And look, it pulled right back. And when it hit that again, that's when I called it a strong buy. And look what happened in the next 3 days. Now, we're kind of showing a little flag here of consolidation. So I think it can pull back to this 200 right here at 7. Look at that. Look at this. See? Another reason you got that 200 matching up to that 1737 with a double confirmation of an ascending triangle support. 1763, 1798 with a resistance break of 1856. This is going to 20. It's going higher. That, or we could pull back to this trend line down here and it'd be back to that real strong buy area. Those are the 3 supports we're going to stick with now. If it breaks this, expect it to pull back to the 1678 and then run on up with that. And that's JMIA. So after this, we got 19 in here. Let me see if I got one more. Oh yeah. I mean, I can go on and on and on. But this is the last one I want to talk about now. My favorite ticker of all. I can play this anytime, any day, anyway, anyhow. And you know how I picked this one out? After a couple hours, it started getting calm in the day. And I just closed my eyes and I waited for a ticker to pop in my head. And Tesla popped in my head. And when I turned this sucker on and looked at it Friday, I said, shit, 40904? I mean, this thing's going, and I turned it on right there. And I said, man, this is an opportunity that I can't deny. 40904, I had a target that I wanted to bring it up to 417. Let me see if I got this. Give me a second here. I want to show you the call I made on this one here. Oh yeah, 416, 200 he made bullish. I'm getting there. We're getting there. Okay, first thing I mentioned in the room that we were on high alert for Tesla. Tesla on high alert here for reversal. And then I called out this trade. Right after that, I noted in the room that I took the October 30th 4:30 strike at 6:05. Oh man. Ah. Well, shit. I don't want to put my password here. Oh, I can do it. Oh, flunky. What am I doing here? Wow, it's not wanting me to get in here. Oh, hell. I can't tell you what price it's at now, but I know it's up, like 60 bucks or something. So we're getting ready to hit this 200, and that's going to be a hard resistance. Everything's reversed. The 9, the 100, the 9, the 34, the 100, and the 200. So we're about ready to hit that 200, and that's going to cause a little bit of resistance. So we're going to look for a pullback area. If we hit that, you're going to consolidate a little bit, and then you've got to try to hit this next trend line up here right around the 424. But just in case it decides to pull back a little bit, we're going to go to this area right in here. See where we had that bottom? Right around 416.62. I had a resistance level that I wanted to take the trade right here at 418 because that's where it consolidated here, and that's where I got out. Right there. So I took my money. Then she went ahead and run up and she closed at 420 right there. So we got to break that 200. Tesla, I'm very bullish on. And I'm going to draw a trend line right in here where we had that previous high. We kind of went to the sideways there on the 5 minute. We're going to bring this to the 1 minute and see if I missed anything else. See, on the 1 minute, it bounced off that 1 minute. Bounced off that 200 on the 1 minute. Bounced off the 200 on the 1 minute. Bounced off the 200 on the 1 minute. How important is that 200 EMA on a daily 1 minute? Can anybody tell me? It's important. It's important. It's a solid, on a momentum stock, it's a solid support. Now, why did I take this trade on Friday? Because 409 really excited me. I mean, this fucker, this son, excuse my language. This sucker had to run all the way up to here. It's run all the way to 465. I mean, it's been showing bearish moves all the way down. Then we had a big breakout. Then we had this huge sell-off all the way from 445 down here to 409. I mean, that's overextended. My resistance level was this here, previous lows that we had at 420. Now, I am telling you that 420 number is very important to keep an eye on. That's what I call the 420 Musk number. That's going to be like your little pivot point or your little strong support to pay real close attention to this stock. I don't want to see it go any lower than 400 bucks. No lower than 400 to keep the momentum going. I've got a prediction that this stock will be back up here at 659. I mean at 465 in a matter of probably after the election's over. And this is another thing I want to bring up to the room. This is a perfect time. This is a perfect time to to be looking at tickers that you really like and play and start building positions as they start to pull back. And we're going to have 2 more weeks of crap until this election's over with. We're going to be very volatile, and it's going to be so much opportunity to take these trades. This is going to be the funnest time to actually do the trading, because people are, you know, we're fighting against the fat cats for one. They think the market's overextended. I personally think it's running the way it should run. And I'm going to put a red line right here. I'm bullish on the market, okay? So what we got to do is we're at a pivot point area. This is to me, a very important number, this 420.31. Anything below it's going to be a buy. Anything above it is where you're going to start looking for resistance levels. But this is a support. So we're going to have different resistance levels. And where can we find the next resistance levels? Of course, I have 427.10 on here. Why? Peak, consolidated here on a descending triangle, found support and bounced up and engulfing candles, found support again. So that's what we've got to try to break. We've got to get up here and break this channel between 424.28 and 427.10. We break that 427.10, we can raise her up here to right around 434 and get up here to the equilibrium, the hard resistance at 438.93. Anything above it, you really need to pay attention and start thinking about profit. And at 445.45 is a real strong position, same as right up in here. Look here. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. We had kind of like a little ascending triangle breakout. Descending triangle. But it held at that support level for a little bit and then finally just gave up. So it's kind of like a heartbeat. It's kind of like a heartbeat, you know. You're out of rhythm here. You're getting back up to rhythm here. You've lost rhythm here. You really got oversold here on Friday. Strong buy. I can't tell you any more. And I yelled this out in the room. I said, you want Tesla, you Tesla's lovers, you better start buying now. So that's going to be an Apple. Did I see Apple in here? No. Okay. So let's go ahead and start going with you all. I'm going to take a little break and drink coffee. I hope you're able to understand what we're trying to accomplish here. We're trying to not chase. We're trying to show patience. And we're trying to get in at support levels. And we're trying to find the pivot point and where it actually is going to be a hard resistance, where you need to think about a gift, anything above it. And we're going to try to find patterns. We're going to look for patterns on stocks, candlestick patterns for reversals. Now, I'm going to tell you about a rule that I had, and I failed to go by it Friday. I have a 3-day karma rule, 3-day karma. And I like to, if I'm trading one stock, and I'm on a roll. I hit one good day, and I hit another good day, and I'm going, shit, man, this can't go on forever. 3 days, and I got this 3-day a charm rule. And it's called karma to me. And I don't want to trade that ticker on the 3rd day if I'm day trading or if I'm scalping on the 4th day. You know, I'll take the 3 wins and walk away. But Friday, I jumped into the SPY. I wasn't myself. I already told myself I wasn't going to play the SPY. But I just got, it just got delicious. And it was a good trade. By the end of the day, it was a perfect trade. And if I'd just, instead of took my loss, I would have went ahead and made profit. And I forgot, right in here is where I got into the trade. I got in way too early. Got in at a double bottom. I thought I had my confirmation. She went up. I walked away and came back, and then she just knifed. And I said, oh, okay. So I took my loss right about in here. I figured, okay, it's winning. And if I'd just had a little bit more patience and waited for another double bottom and got down here to this low support area that I've been calling out all week, Look what happened. All week long, that was a strong support level, and we failed at one time, and if you'd have jumped in on that call, which I couldn't have got into the trade until at open, it still held that support level. And it's happened all week long, and I called this right in here. I said, this is going to be our support level that we got to be concerned about, because we were way oversold, for example. We bounced up, and we started creating a channel. And that's what we're in here right now. From all the way up to this top at 446, that's going to be your resistance level for right now, and that support level is going to be right down in here. Anything below that 342.70 is going to be a gift. You know, we've had a sell-off in the tech sector. Some of these have pulled back, and some of them have held their ground. But we've had a pretty good little correction, and I think we're about ready to kind of find a channel and start to move up. Christmas is coming. SPY is a great Christmas stock, in my opinion. So let's go ahead, and that was my 3-day rule, karma rule. So you've all heard of it. 3 times the charm, and it goes the same way with bad luck. You have bad luck 3 times in a row, wipe that streak out. Okay, who wants to talk about stocks? DKNG is next. I've seen that come up a couple of times. DKNG, here you go. First thing I want to do is pull up the yearly chart. I want to know within 10 seconds. And I'm going to erase all these lines. This is called a Fibonacci chart, automatic Fibonacci chart. It's a TTM squeeze with the 200, the 100, the 34, and the 9 EMA. The 9 is what tells me if a stock's bullish. If it breaks that 9, we become bearish. We pulled back and hit that 100 right here, 40.73. So next thing I want to look at is going to be the news. I want to see if there's anything in the news that is a deterrent for me to want to get in this trade. Sports, blah, blah, option, puts. You know, here they are calling puts, $41 put. Kramer weighs on Boeing, Yeti, DraftKings launches Africa. Oh, damn, man. You sure they can afford that? Gambling investors. So they're not really blocked with Morgan Stanley trades here. Class A, what's this? DraftKings Class A 1.7 share block placed by Morgan Stanley at 42.15. So I think we're at a good support level here. Just by reading this news, we're at a good support level. So what we're going to do now, we're going to draw a trend line on the yearly, right here. You see that? Look at that. You see that there? This little resistance level right here. That's where we're going to draw our trend line. This is DraftKings. Bam, right there. I didn't use the wick. The body of the candle. We're going to find another little support. I adjusted it to these right in here. Okay? Look where it went. Look at that. See? See all them? We couldn't break, we couldn't break, we couldn't break, we couldn't break. We couldn't break. We found support. Bam! Had its high, come back to that support level. That's real strong. That's real strong. We're going to put a red line on that. That's going to mean something to me. It's going to mean something to me. I want to find one more support level in case it fails. Do you know where it would be on the yearly chart? I'm pointing right at it, man. Right here. Look at that. You see that? That top? See this? See that? See that? See the equilibrium in here in the channel? Third support. Strong buy. Strong buy. That's where you want to put your money in it, just in case it dips down there. Resistance to break is going to be this right here. 44.61, going to be hard. It's going to be hard. If it can break that, guess where our next resistance level is going to be? Right there. See that? Right there. Look at that. Touch. 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 We had this, oh, look at spinning top right there. See it spinning top? Right there. See that? So when we find another resistance level, it's going to be right up in here on this next candle. Look at that. Smack. Smack on the base. Smack. Smack on the wicks. Okay, let's annihilate to 1 minute now. Let's go to the 20 day and see if there's anything I missed on the 20 day. Nice little channel right in here. Starting to curl up a little bit, giving me break that 100 up that 34. Have the 9 move on up, cross that 100. We're bullish. We'll take it to 46.38. We'll take it to that 200. That 200, look at this. Right there, see? We had to pull back there. We're fine tuning it now. This is fine tuning. It's like a fiddle. The fiddle of a guitar. That's another resistance level. Now I want to take it to the 1 minute. Now look at all this room we got to fly up here. Winter's coming up. Corona play. Trump don't mind gambling. He owns a few casinos. He ain't going to badmouth business. He ain't going to talk about how much Wall Street sucks. There's some resistance levels, support level and a resistance level. Then we got one more right in here. So let's take another look at the 20 day on DraftKings. Resistance to break is going to be this trend line at 43 bucks. And if we can break 43.30, 41, we're going to go on all the way up to 46.38 and then find resistance right around 49 to $50. Anything above it's going to be a gift. There's a beautiful spot right there at 52.13 to get out of the trade. DKNG, strong buy, no lower than this 37.79. Keep that on your plate. Next, DraftKings, add it to your watch. I got to add it to mine. If I can find it. Ah, there it is. I'm going to type this in. DraftKings. Okay. Now, next is going to be Lulu. Someone mentioned Lulu a little bit ago. Are you still here? You're welcome, Amanda. Let's go ahead and look at Lulu. Lulu's just a wonderful call. Nice little pullback on Lulu. Nice little pullback on Lulu. Let's check out the yearly. That's where I usually go. Let's see here. Columbia Sportswear Trader shrugs, blah. Canada Goose, blah. Don't they have anything about Lulu? Lulu, ooh, had an upgrade to 405. Who did that? Oppenheimer. Morgan Stanley's target on Lulu, 325. Okay. From 320. So we got a lot of 325s in here. Okay. We're going to erase all this Lulu crap. I'm going to start fresh. So we know 325 is a strong number. We did pull back to the 320 area on a Thursday. Let's find some resistance levels and support levels on this chart here. Right in here is a good little spot to start off with. And right down here, you see where we had this touch here and had that touch in there. And then confirmation. That's a channel right there. Then we'll go real low down here. I doubt if we see them numbers. Seriously. Go back to that year. See how that all, see that? You wouldn't have saw that because I only did that in this channel. Look at that. You see what I'm saying? They come right back to that support level. So this is a strong channel right in here. This area right in here. And this will be your strong buy. If it does get down to 268, I can't see that coming so close to winter here. So we're going to draw a trend line. That's hard to see. Let me see if I can. No, I can't do that. Let me see here. I just can't see in here, so I'm just going to go with this right here. No, I just can't do it. Take it to right here. That last pullback we had to the right. Now I want to see this number hold right in here, 314. Let me see if I can find some corroboration here. Yeah, see that right there? It's a magical process here. Right there. That's where we had these consolidated here, and we had these consolidate right in here. And it runs right into that trend line. And we're going to have one more right in here. Now let's pull up 20-day, see if I missed anything. We got that support level right here. Then we're going to bring her on up, find some resistance levels right in here. We had that high, that previous high, so that's what we got to break. That runs right into the 200. This is Lulu. Bullish on it. Everybody likes Lulu. We talk about it a lot. Right there. I'm going off this right here. I'm meeting that candle right here on the hour, daily hour. So those are going to be our resistance levels, and then we got one more right up in here. Support right here, strong support. So this is going to be your strong support that needs to hold. 328.44. I think that's pretty good. It's below the 50% retracement on a 20-day. So that's a pretty strong buy at 328.44. Chalk that down on paper. You do that, it'll hold trend. So I'm looking over here and I'm saying, okay, what's it going to go to? And we're going to look at it right there. Pretty much lines up to where that 328.44 area is. We'll have a little pullback and then maybe breakout of resistance level at 435.19.20 to 439.33 to a hard resistance at 342. Anything above that, it's going to be a gift. It can run up to 345, and that's just a beautiful little spot to say, okay, might want to take profit here. That's a $10, $11 scalp right there. Or swing it back up in here. But I think it's going to be volatile, like I said, for the next 2 weeks. Okay. Lulu. Who wants to talk about something next? Nile? You want to talk about Nile? We'll talk about Nile here. And I need to add it to my watch. Nile's a good one. Nile's a good one. Yeah, there it is. Let's pull up the yearly. I had a little channel up in here, and it failed that channel, and it's pulled back a little bit. I'm going to look at the news real fast. Now I was planning to develop auto-driving chips. Ooh, they're starting to follow Tesla. See, they're turned into a tech company. That's what I like about Tesla, man. They can tune a car from the sky. General Motors stock soars of the... Yeah, General Motors comes out with an EV Hummer reveal. That's what I think of General Motors. But now, Peloton among analysts' short squeeze candidates. Earnings change their longest losing streak. What? Tesla stock falls again on earnings. The earnings were good. Some of these headlines. Okay. I always look at the news. It gives me a feel of how I want to trade something. I mean, if I see a lot of BK and a lot of lawsuits and stock splits, and it changes the whole thinking pattern around. We're very hot on EV. So this is how I think. I want to wait for another pullback on Nile. Strong buy right down here, right around 22.16, 22.10. Why? Because that's where we had some consolidation issues. That's a bullish pattern. Well, it's consolidated for 2 weeks and then finally had the big breakout. Then she consolidated and pulled back. So we got to look at it. Maybe it's overextended a little bit for a new run. I'm going to stick my arm out here, and I'm going to say right in here, put my arm out on the limb. That's what they say here in Missouri. I'm going to say this area is going to be a strong buy at 25.53 to hold. If that doesn't hold, wait for 24 and then get back into trade. This 22.24 is probably your third support, your real strong buy, because it just couldn't break that resistance channel. So you always got to jot down 22.24, and if that shows up, that's where you want to probably take the trade. If it stops here and starts to reverse on this big engulfing candle, that's where you want to take the trade. Strong buy, another area right in here. So you got, if this fails, you'll go to there, and if that fails, into this channel right in here, between 23.48 and 23.84, you'll get back down to here, this low support channel. Then you'll find an equilibrium in this channel right here, right around 21.35. So that's going to be like a real strong buy. And I'll go over this one more time. That's a pivot point area in this channel. See how I drew that pivot point in there? See how they all just kind of pull right back to that support area? That's a pivot point. That's a pivot point. So if it does fall back into this channel, that's where your strong buy is going to be. And if you'll start right in here, and if it doesn't hold and bounce up, it'll going to pull back to this area, this other channel right down in here. You idiot. Let's do this. I know what I did wrong now in here earlier. Right in here. Then this little channel, let's change this. This little channel right in here is going to be your very strong buy area. That's going to be between 21.35 and 21.74. Your resistance at 22.24 if this 24 does not hold. This channel right in here, it doesn't hold. I'm going to be bullish on this again. I think we're due for a pullback and then maybe a bounce back up. That's Nile. I called this out at $30 and we had a triple top up here. Called it out down here at the bottom. If you all remember in the room. Then we had the triple top. Anytime you see a triple top, Take your profit. I told people to get out of the trade at 29. Same as triple bottoms. Look there. 1, 2, 3. Bam! Triple top. 1, 2, 3. Bam! You got to know when you're overextended in a trade. And you got to know when you're consolidating into a breakout. This was an indication. You had the low, the higher low, consolidated twice, double bottom, bam. Pulled back to that double bottom, bam. You got to keep it. Every chart tells a story. And please, don't follow in a trade blindly. If you don't have a reason why you want to get in or where you want to get out, don't take the trade. Know when you want to get in and know when you want to get out. So that's Nile. Strong buy in this channel right down here. No lower than 20 bucks. You see 20? Tap into it. Tap into it. 24 is going to be probably a support area that needs to hold. And then you get up here to this area right in here at 25.45, you could have a bounce back up to this resistance level right here at 27. It all depends. Watch the tape, watch the flow, and be in the now. And I got to put Nile over here because I'll be watching it Monday. These will be stocks that I'm only going to trade on Monday unless the tape level or unless Stella, Lisa Ann tells me different, and that's trade ideas. Or people in the room have some nice alerts. I might follow their trades or find, I hardly ever follow anybody's trade blindly. I look for a support and I want to know where I want to get out before I get into any trade. Triple top indicator was the time to get out. Triple bottom was the time to get in. Case closed. Nile. Next, Piton. Let's get it on. Piton is getting shorted. Oh, heck. Piton, 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 Piton. Bam, we're going to put a little trend line right in here on Piton. Let's look at the yearly chart first. Look at that. Yeah, just a beautiful run, huh? Just a beautiful Corona run. All the way from 17 bucks to 139. That's scary, ain't it? She pulled back right to one of my support levels here at 119. Wonder why I had that. Let's look at the 20-day and see. Oh, there's a reason, see? Looky, looky. Previous high. Looky, looky. Double top breakout. Looky, looky. Looky, looky. Pulled back to there. Bam. Someone would call this trade out here. Would I have took the trade? No. Hell no. I'd have waited for it to pull back right here. Good trade, good call. But why do you want to jump in at resistance when you can buy it pull back? Previous high. Why would you want to buy at resistance when you can buy it at support? That's the question I want to ask. Do you have an answer? So let's pull this right here at 124. So let's go back and see if I missed anything else on this yearly. I got one more right in here I want to draw. See that? This is on our chart. So it took 3 hours to build support right in here. And let's open this up a little bit so I can get more accurate with it. Where the hell was it? Okay. I'll try this again. Right there. That's what we're going to do. So see how we had that candle right there and these bases all formed up there? Yeah, that's pretty solid. Okay. Now we know there's people shorting the stock. We know it's overextended. We can see it on the we can see it on the tape, and we can see it in social media. You can see it around traders that are very experienced, that like to short overextended stocks. Now, I got stuck in Snap. I screwed up. I thought it was overextended. But we got a new week coming. The market and people have a very short attention span. I don't, because I remember the runners. You know, I don't need a scanner. I don't need trade ideas. I've charted so many charts, over 1 million. I have so many tickers stuck in my head, and I've got a top 20 watch list. That's all I need. And I talk about watch lists a lot. Got to have a good watch list. So this 119.75 seems pretty serious. Now, if we break below the 119.75, we can get to 115.36 into this channel right down here for a strong buy. Anything below 113.52 is going to be hell to pay. That means it's going to drop a lot more. So we want it to hold this channel if it doesn't hold it here. You notice we did come up after hours, and we are creating a symmetrical flag here in the close. Well, not really. Kinda, but definitely moved to the side. But you can see the flag here with the lower highs coming up, with that double bottom right there, and then that base of that candle creates a lower high. So let's look at the 20-day one more time, see if I missed any indicator on this 20-day chart. I really like this area right here, this 119. I really think that's a solid position to hold if the momentum stays. It might go down and hit this again for the third time or the fourth time, maybe on the third day, and then bounce up and break resistance. And you see where resistance is? It's going to be this base of these candles right in here at 125. So 125 is your hard resistance. Well, actually, it could be a little higher. Yeah, let's raise it up to 126. 125 to 126. If you can break that, we're going to go up to this higher channel. If not, there's a lot of bears on this stock. So a strong buy, I think, it would be right around here between 113.52 and 115 for a retracement back up to resistance at 120. So from here on out, take it easy. Let the election go through. Play the dips. And I guarantee you'll be happy. And I'm scalping only, but I'm buying swing trades on a low support. And I know where them are. You know, this would be a swing trade to me at 113.52. It'd be a scalp to me at 119.75. I want to make that clear. Swing at the 113.52 and a scalp if it pulls back to 119.75. Or day trade. Or just overnight swing. But I'd probably day trade it. And that is Piton. And did I add it to my watch? No. And I'm going to take a drink of water. We got about a half hour left. Okay. WWR. Okay, let me see here. We got Piton. FOMO usually what happens. Yep. Piton changed their PR person. It was a game changer. Yep. You lost. Yep. You got to know when you're at a resistance level. What do you got here? JKS is one. I was waiting on a pullback and then finally did Friday and I missed it. JKS. Look at that. Perfect. Right to that 200. Let me look at the news first. I always have to take a look at that. 12 technology stocks, Asian ADR, blah, blah. Shares, several technology companies are trading lower. 52-week high on Wednesday. here. WKHS Asians. Jinko Solar. So it's a solar company. Bipolar Simon. Too high. Tell you what, this is going to be a good one. It's a good one. Let's see if we can find us a little area to get in the trade. Let's look at the yearly chart first. I've never charted this stock before. Yes, I have. I take it back. I don't know why I didn't keep it on watch. That's beautiful, ain't it? Look at where I charted it from. Look at that. That's pretty. That's real nice. Oh man, I gotta try. I haven't seen a chart like this in a while. I gotta clear all that mumble jumble out. I'm gonna put my trend line right here just because I have to. Another one right in here. And I'm looking for places that have consolidated where the candles have touched, more or less. But I like this area right in here. Then I like this area right in here. And then I like I love this area right in here. And there. Right there. And right there. Okay, now let's go to the 20-day. See how they line up? That 20-day lines up so well. A pretty good little spot right here. I think you're still okay. Actually, it pulled back after hours. You got the 9 crossing down over the 200, which ain't too positive, but you got a double bottom touch here. So you could fall back just a little bit and hit this area right in here. 60. See this? That's a pivot point. That's a pivot point in this channel. So maybe it gets down to 60.72. I'd start maybe a small, well, I don't know. Yeah, I like this area a little bit better. I like a 57.78. This area right in here. Winter's coming along. A lot of times solar companies don't do as hot, get it in the wintertime. They kind of pull back. Through my experience. There's got another spot right in here we don't want to leave out. And then I think that's it. I think that's it. So right in here is going to be a strong buy. Jot down 57.68. Your second support. Let me do one more thing here before I get too crazy. I'm going to go to that daily 1 minute. See, I missed that right there. That's pretty important also for resistance levels. Okay, so we're going to turn this into a red line. Why? You know why. Because that was the high of the day. We tried to break it here and couldn't do it. So that's going to be your hard resistance. If you can break 66.89, you'll go higher. Now, but we're kind of set for it to pull back a little bit. We got a target to get in the trade right down here at 57.68. Put that down on paper. Like I said, the second support, if it holds, 60.93, 63, what is it, 60, yeah, 63 bucks more or less. And the resistance to break is going to be this area here at 66.89. And if it runs on up, 72, take your profit. If it pulls, but I'd like to take the pullback and run it up to the resistance level of 67. And that's going to be JKS. I'm going to watch it next week. Because trade I missed that I shouldn't have missed. Just got to keep them on watch. Shrimp. Yeah, oh boy. Yeah, it's 62. Yep. I see it. Right in there at 50%. You see that Thunderbird? That's what I got. It's probably 97 or something in there. I can't see it behind this. Maybe if I... Here we go. 66.89. And you got 62.9. I got 62.97 right here for support for triple bottom. But I like 57.58. Okay, shrimp. Shrimp's a penny stock. And a friend of mine and I called this one out at the bottom. And then it started running real good. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna chart this up. I'm gonna erase all these up here. We've got 25 more minutes left. I hope everybody gets something out of these little sessions. So we're going to start drawing trend lines in here. Support lines and trend lines. This right in here. See that high right there? Bam. 989. Pivot point area in the channel. Next support, strong buy right down in here. Right there. Well, it might not be a strong buy yet. Right there. Yeah, it's 7 cents. You got another one right in here. And I'm going to just keep going on up and finding resistance levels. See, bam, bam. No brainer at 18. Let's bring it to the 20-day. See if I missed anything here. Missed a lot, see? A lot of penny. Kind of choppy here. And we're going to find another one right in here somewhere. And right there. I'm going with this candle right over here, resistance to break. And then we start thinking gift. Now shrimp is really starting to expand. If you don't know what shrimp is, they don't take the shrimp out of the ocean. They have little farms that they raise shrimp in. And it's a way to keep the oceans clean and strong. And it's also a way to... shrimp, I think, was the number 1 or 2 seafood item that people eat. I forgot how many pounds, tons. But I was really into this shrimp stock when I was studying all that. There's another one right down there. Okay, ready? Let's pull it up on the daily 1 minute and see if I missed anything. Not very much volume. We're having a little squeeze right here. So we want to try to buy this at support level. Anything down here, I think in the 989 area would be your place of entry for your small position. And if it dips below that, we've got the other 2 areas that we want to look at. One of them was right here at 843. I just can't see it. I gotta go to a year. If that even tells me. Thought it was 6 cents. Yeah, 6.59 will be your very strong buy to add to this trade. If we have a knife on it, or it doesn't hold this 200 right here at 922, we're going to dip on down to that 6.6 area, and then buy it, load up, and wait for the bounce up. Shrimp. I don't think you're going to go to the moon on it. Hard resistance at 1858. And that next one's right at 1650. But you have to break that 1268 resistance to get in there. Shrimp. And I'll add that to my watch list. SH. Now I'm gonna... Anybody else got something they want me to look at? WWR. Okay, we're going to look at it. WWR. Woo-wee! What a trade. What a trade. Let's clean this all up. You can tell I've been watching it. You can tell. We got this big spike right in here, so we're going to use that as a little pivot point area. And then we're going to come right down here to this area and use this. Then we're going to open her back up. See how she touched up there? Look at that. Bam. Double top. And then we got one more right here we got to put in, 333. And then we're going to start looking at resistance levels. And I want to look at the news. Movers. Watch West Water Resources shares 30 metric tons of graphic concentrate plant production. Come back on the weather, cools down. Okay. I don't understand this company at all. And the company increase. Okay. Resources shares up to lower after potential sell-off after company stock increase over 200%. So she's a runner. Let's see if I missed anything else on this yearly. Right there, maybe. See that 200? I would say that's probably a real low support at 302. That 200. Let's go to the 20-day now. If we could start to see a curve up, might create a pocket pivot. It's starting to consolidate down here for the last 3 days at this support level, right around 420. And it could go just a little bit lower. Maybe, yeah, 404. Yeah, that's perfect. I wouldn't consider myself 100% bullish on it. I would only consider myself bullish on it if it got down to this lower tier. Right around in here, right around 335. But you got a spot right in here too that looks very nice at 368. So let's go ahead and pull this up on the 1 day, 1 minute. See what I missed. Right there, look at that. 397. 393. So this kind of, and resistance to break would be a 412. That's a descending pattern right there. Kind of like a flag in a way, though. So we could be due for another pullback. Let me look at the yeah, this is going to be a strong support right in here. You see where we had these tops? So I'm going to draw that in a red line. I'll pull up the 20-day again. Well, that is the 20-day. There we go. Okay, strong buy down here at 333. First support is going to be the 368. And the resistance to break is going to be this number right here at 444. If you can get past 444, you'll bring it up to this another sector right up in here, this other section right up in here. But I would consider this to hold. It got a triple bottom, or at least a double bottom. If it forms, it could bounce off the triple, or have a weak and pull back to this support level at 333 and then retrace back up. For right now, it's kind of a descending pattern. And what I mean by descending is lower highs, and then I got a support level right in here. See, it goes all the way across. That's a descending pattern. As you can see, it is descending, but it's going to find support here real close. 333 to me would be a very strong buy to bring it back up to this channel. Maybe back up to 368 and then hit this number right here, right around $4. Anything above that's going to be a gift. And it could run. It could have news out and just shoot on up. WWR. Does that make any sense to you? If you're still around. Okay, we got shrimp. I'm going to put WWR over here. And I'm going to watch these next week and make comments on them and on StockTwits. CLPS is next. 15 more minutes. I got to draw a line right here. Well, let's go to the yearly first. Now, you see these right here? You know what those are? This is what I like my extended trend line pattern breakout method. Nobody trades like this. I've not seen one person. You know how far these lines go back? 2017. 2018. Okay? Now I use these same trend lines today. History, which is very important to understand when trading stocks. I sometimes get yelled at because I get out of a stock too soon. And 80% of the time when I get out, people comment to me and say, "Damn, how'd you do that?" You got to know when a stock's overextended. I already know when I want to get out of a trade. I know when I want to get into a trade before it even comes to me. And I keep that process up, and it's gave me about an 80% accuracy rating. So we're going to find a little support level right down here. So it's very important to me that I add a few more lines to these 2018. Now and of course they're going to be in white. I change these lines every year. Then I use the same trend lines over and over until it finally gets so fogged up I can't see nothing. Right in there. See, I'm getting these bases right in here. We had an ascending triangle right here. Higher lows, all the way straight across, breakout, pulled back to the top of that ascending triangle. So when you're in a trade and you see an ascending triangle, and I'm calling these suckers out. Ascending triangle, ascending triangle, ascending triangle. One, two, triple top breakout. Big spinning top right here. But now look at this. The ascending triangle resistance pulled right back to that. How many times does this happen? How many times have you actually sat and watched an ascending triangle? How many times have you said, okay, that resistance level now becomes support? How many times? Anybody in the room? Can one say, I have? I don't think any of you can say it, can you? Many times when you get a breakout on an ascending triangle, the sucker's going to pull right back to support. So when I'm in an ascending triangle trade and I'm in the mood to scalp, I'm going to take that breakout and I'm going to sell it. I ain't going to hesitate because I know 8 out of 10 times that's going to pull back to that trend line. Ascending triangle. Breakout, pull back, breakout to a double top. You look where the body of the base ended up at close, pretty much at resistance level. It broke the 200. This is on a weekly. Now let's go to the 20-day. Let's draw a couple more trend lines in here. Pretty much, I think I need one right in here. And you see how the resistance held 3 years ago at 511? I mean, you can't get any better than that. That's on an hour chart. That's a resistance level. I'm going back 3 years and I'm saying, okay, we hit a resistance at 511 that I was calling support back 3 years ago. I'm going to take my profit at 511. I'm going to wait for the pullback. Look, I mean, it's just too easy to call. So CLPS, let's go ahead and let's call this trade out. Let's look at the yearly. Had a nice little breakout up in here at 641. She's definitely bullish. I don't like this wick. That's the only thing I don't like right now. So I'm thinking maybe 406 could be a good entry, or somewhere in this channel right in here. And I'm going to find an equilibrium. Kind of hard to find a good support in here, but I'm going to look at right there. Bam, bam, bam. You know, kind of found a little correlation in here for that support level. And then we got a couple more over here that I want to pay attention to. Up there. Oh, that right there, that's perfect. I'm using this wick and some of these bodies over here on this. And then I notice that wick hits that too. Okay. Support level. First one's going to be 403. And this one right down here at 380. Okay. 380's got to hold. Why? I'll show you why. Give me a second here. 380's got to hold. Is there any reason on this chart you say why 380 has to hold? Right in here. See that? That's a little pivot point in this channel here. So that's going to be a pretty strong support. 380. So this is how we're going to look at the trade. 355, strong buy. I want 380 to hold and bounce up. 406 for your first support. And the resistance to break at 460. And then you'll maybe get it up to these other higher levels. You're willing to stop this anytime. This will be recorded, so you can come back to it later, tell your friends about it. I love stocks, but I'm going to call this one more time. I want to see that 380 to hold. 406, your second support level. Your first one at 430 needs to hold with a resistance to break at 460. And if we can do that, get her up to 511 to 581. But I like this stock in a way. Hell, I'm going to extend this on out here. I don't know why I got that in there. Unless I just drew it. Oh, hell, see? That's pretty good. I had a little oversold area right in here, and she bounced up off that. I'm sticking to my story. 380, 406, 430 to break, 460, 483, and if you can get past that, you might get a little bit higher. But we got to break this little bitty spot right here. You see it? Top, 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 top. I call them quad tops. They hardly ever break 438. But that's what you got to pay attention to. See, when people are in trades, you know, they pulled back right in here, and then it couldn't break that resistance all day long. So we might build a channel, pull back to 380, and then bounce back up here to resistance. That's the way I see GLPS. And if it gets really on fire, and oh, let's see what kind of float it is. Ever talked to you about floats? I like to use FinViz. And what was that ticker again? CLPS. I'll go in here. It takes me right to what size? Ooh, 3.86 float. See, that encourages me there a little bit. I know it's going to be a pumper. And I know a lot of people like to have a little bit of tension on this trade. So if this sucker goes down to 380, then pumper's going to be looking at it. And they're going to probably take it back up. Anything, I measure low floats from 25 million and down. I use FinViz to back up the resources on trade ideas. I never use Ameritrade's numbers. Never. And look at here. And I'm a guy that believes in karma. And I'm superstitious. I see 401. You know what that tells me? That's my old employee number back in 1981. And I was the top 10 employee of the country out of probably 3,000 employees. So I always use that 401 as a reference number when I'm in a trade. And look, boing! I'd have jumped in that trade at 401. Guaranteed it. Guarantee it. But that, like I said, ways of life and history of your life have a lot to do with skills that you create when you're day trading in the stock market. Life experiences. CLPS. I hope you like that. Oh, B-I-G. B-I-G. In the key of G, B-I-G-C, in the key of C. As you all know, I guess you can't see my guitar, but it's back there behind me. I was a musician for about 15 years. Played in all kinds of good bands. Played with a band called Guar. You ever heard of Guar? Shiners or Jeff and Vita? All underground bands. Okay, let me see. 83. Let's go. So this is a new IPO, I take it. Correct? Yep. This is one where you buy on the dips and dips only. Now you pull up what it's been playing off of. It's been playing off this 200. Okay, so on a yearly 200 EMA, and I've got another chart that I use a lot. And let me see. It's called the. This is another chart that's good for beginners. It's called my SMA chart, and I've used this chart. This is probably the easiest chart to learn off of if you're a beginner. You have a 200 SMA and a 50 SMA. They're called simple moving averages. You also have what you call down here is the RSI. Anytime that touches down at the bottom, it's usually a pretty good buy. As you can see right here, it was a good buy. Here, not so good, but I mean, yeah, not so good. So it's kind of consult. This is a day chart, though. We want to look at something a little bit closer. That's a day trading. Yeah, the RSI ain't going to help much on this one, that's for sure. But every time I see this stock and it's dipped, I like to look at it as a buy. I'm going to pull up the 20-day to find me a little support level down here. Consolidated area right around 83 something. And right in here it's 87. See, I'm going to this previous high over here. And I'm trying to line it up with these jokers on the right. Had a little RSI right in here. She bounced on up. See that? RSI from 91 all the way to right around 96. I want to find an equilibrium on the RSI to where I think we should be selling the sucker. And that's going to be right there, right around 52. 36 would be my pivot point area. Anything above that's going to be a resistance to sell the stock. You see what I'm saying? You get up above it, she pulls back. Had the breakout from the low down here at the bottom. She broke out right down here. You see on that? I'm using that RSI as a guideline. Breakout. Got up to the top of it, pulled back. Went down to that first support, broke out. Finally couraged up, and then she just kept on. She held support at the pivot point of the RSI, kept on moving up. Then we've got buy signals right in here. Bam, she moved on up. So we touched right in here. Bam, she moved up. That's how you work the RSI. You also look at the volume. Now, these are support levels. These are my extended trend lines for confirmations. I've got the 200. We have a golden cross right here on a 20-day. There's all kinds of things you can find out on this chart alone. You've got a golden cross and you got a death wish. Started coming way soon. I would have took the trade and got out of it up here. When that thing started curling down, I'd have been out of this trade, or when I found resistance level. And I would have, me, with all the experience that I have, I know when to get in and when to get out. I usually can tell by the first couple of candles what I want to do in a trade. So let's go to the 1 minute and just see if there's anything in here. Yep, see? Got to have that in here, right there. And I got to change this. Bam! Dog, get in there. Oh, I like that better. I'm glad I waited. See, we had this top here and this bottom here, and the wicks. We had that little caca candle right there. If I saw that candle, I would have thought it would have went down farther. For sure. Let's go back to the 20-day. Big C. Strong buy at 83.17. Strong buy. And I'm trying to find an equilibrium in this channel. This is a channel. That'll be your next support, 85.94. And then that first one's going to be right here at 88 bucks. Resistance to break is going to be right in here. This here. That's going to be your resistance to break. 91.39. Now see, on a 20-day chart, would you have took the trade right here? No, I would have probably. Right when that crossed, but then I would have thought, hell, why not wait until I find support level? I know it's pulling back. 83.17, bam. And then she did kind of break out, and then she kind of consolidated and went back to that support level again. Then we had the big breakout, but that was giving you a notice in a couple of days advance that this was going to be a runner, and it held above support right in here. See, when that crossed and it pulled back, that had been my entry. If I didn't take this trade already. And that bounced off the 50 SMA on a 20-day, 1-hour chart. So 88.09, 85.90, and 83.17 for a strong buy. Resistance to break. Resistance to break. 92.75. If we do that, we can get it back up here to the higher highs. 92.75. Where the hell did you go? Oh, I got it on there. Then we can bring it on back up. But I'd let it, and if this 50 starts to curl up, we could be moving on up and trying to break those resistance levels. But we did find support on a double bottom right here. And that is confirmed with these tops that we had over here. If it goes down, we'll find a spot in here to take the trade. If it breaks resistance level at 91.39 will move on up to higher ground. That's big C. And we'll let the tape do the walking. Talk about Genius. Well, that one, disappointed in Genius. I'm really like the trade, but man, called it wrong. I called it wrong. I called it good for a couple times, but she just went sour. So let's look at 6 months. Let's erase all this crap. Let's go to my other chart. I'm going to draw a few trend lines in here. And I think this is a 12 community stocks of Tuesday. Update on Brands International canceled license acquisition agreement with Adventures of Sonic Hedgehog. That ain't good. Brands license acquisition agreement. Okay, canceled it. Brands learned rights to license Adventures and Hedgehog. Pac-Man. Oh man. Genius Brands International share spike over the past hour, 9%. Now, there's nothing in here that's really making me excited about the trade. Not anymore. I mean, if I'll play it as a dip play, they surprise you with offerings. Arnold ought to be kicking their butts, but he's not. Arnold's involved in it. Schwarzenegger. Okay. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to take this trade here. Called this out. Vegas called this out, and the sucker ran up to $5. It's one of our biggest videos that we've had, most watched. We got a double top on a 20-day right here, okay? That's going to be a hard resistance at 159. I'm not using that number. I'm using the base of the candle. And then one right in here. And then you got a strong buy right down in this area. You see where we kind of consolidated for 4 days and had to break out. So I want to kind of get that right there. I should have brought it up. No. Yeah. Let me remove that. Yeah, that's better. I like that better because of right here. And then we got a strong buy down here at 128. Why 128? That peak right there and that consolidated area right there. See, we had that peak, it broke down, consolidated, found support from this area right in here at 115, and then broke resistance at 128. You see that? And then pulled back to that 128 and broke out again. It's just like rhythm. I mean, look at this. Okay, watch. Bam, bam. Ascending triangle, bam, bam. Broke resistance, bam, bam, back to the old resistance. Broke resistance, ran, bam, bam, back to the old resistance. Broke that resistance, pulled back to support, bam, bam. No squeeze. Broke resistance again. Now it's starting to pull back. So where are we going to find a good pullback? Could it pull back here at 150 and bounce on up? I don't think so. I think 140 right in here. And if 140 doesn't hold, we'll go back to this previous high. Then we'll do another bam, bam. So that's how I kind of look at it. You know, it's like a roller coaster. It comes up, breaks out, pulls back to support. Breaks out, pulls back to support. Breaks out, a little higher, going to pull back to support. Maybe a little higher support right here at 140. If that doesn't hold, strong buy at 128. Genius. Okay. Well, we're done. Everybody have a good time. Hit that like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Vegas and I are going to come out and do two special stock analysis on two tickers. And I'll give you the advanced idea of what they're going to be. They're going to be Facebook and pins. Keep Snap on watch. I hope this session helped you out in some good ways. And I'm going to go ahead and kick back and relax and watch a little TV. Always remember, you can join our room. I think for like $20 for the first week. Have a beer. I'm located on a. Let me pull up my website. This is our website, ilovestocks.com. We have a little Twitter page. Please follow us on Twitter. Hit that follow button. Wow, darn, man, we're up to 5,230 followers. Can you believe that? Within a year, we've got 5,200. Year and a half. It's been longer than a year. Almost 2 years. We're always putting alerts in here. There's Vegas. Posting alerts, options. So you can always follow that. Also, we have this little stock Twitch page. Hit that follow button. Posting alerts in here all the time. Here's Cheddar Flow alert that Miss Vegas did. There's a little sending triangle lesson if you wanted to learn more about sending triangles. And then also on our website, we have Pinterest, we have YouTube channel, and we have our store, or a mail. I think that's our store. Yeah. And we offer on our store I Love Stocks face mask for $14.97. Got a nice little shirt here. When the market is red, I am green. That's my old saying. Got a discount on that right now for $19.97. I Love Stocks. If you want to have one of my sayings, when the market is red, 99% of the time I am green. Because I love to play off support. I've 15 years of experience. What does Jim say? Going to make me a sandwich. Got an apron right here. If you want to buy one of my aprons, I got a pair of underwear for women here. Do you want to go long or short? I bought one of these myself, one of these jackets. I wear it. I got a coffee mug. Right there, I got one of them Stock Chicks coffee mugs. So yeah, go to our store and pick up some merchandise. I want to wish everybody a good day. This will be recorded later on. So if you have anybody that's a beginner that wants to learn how to find supports and resistances, turn them on to the channel. All I can say from here on out is I love stocks and be safe. Oh, now I want to say one more thing. I'm playing the market real good right now. I'm playing the dips. I'm taking this election very seriously. I'm also know that COVID's been a big crisis in our country, and it's kind of helped out some of the sectors. We're in a bubble in the tech sector, in my opinion, like we were when the internet came out and all the stocks ran up to $600-700, or like when the pot stocks had their big breakout, or when Bitcoin had its breakout. It's definitely a different. America's going to change, and we're going to be. It's just going. And we've had these cycles before. I remember the Carter recession. It was a pretty hard time. I remember the transition between Carter and Reagan, how the economy just started thriving. And they cut the taxes, and once you cut them taxes, it just started booming. The market did. And it ran. Then we had the 87 crash, and then internet came in, and another technology that changed the world. And now we had Corona, and this is going to change the world. It's going to make our businesses a little bit different. We're going to work, going to turn into like a gig, I'm going to say a gig economy. It's really going to start kicking in. Probably another 15 years, we're going to be driving all electric cars. 20 years. So that's why you're getting this big run on the EV. And I think it'll still keep going. There'll be some that'll fail, and there'll be a couple monsters. And we know that Tesla's going to be one. And I think Nile, Workhorse, and, you know, if NKLA gets up off his ass, it might make something of itself too. But I'm letting the election dictate how I'm trading until the election's over, and that's scalping, which is every dip I see, and then when it dips to where support is for a strong buy, I'm swinging them for 5 days, 3 days, and I did that with JMIA, and I'm doing it with Workhorse. So everybody have a good day. Don't go into a trade blindly. You know, I don't want to, well, I'm stuck in this trade. I had to go out and buy groceries and come back and I'm down $3. Know when you want to get in and know when you want to get out. And that's it. I love stocks. Have a great day, and I'm so privileged to have you all in here to share ideas with. And I learn from everybody. I'm going to take some of these alerts that you gave me today and put them on my watch list and use them. Have a great day. This will be popped up on YouTube here in an hour or so, and share it with your friends.